Hello, everyone. Beyond the Pitch podcast is here, the fourth episode. I'm excited, delighted, and honored to have a very special guest with me here today, the manager of the Saskatchewan Excel program, Kelly Rawlings. Kelly, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Mo. Really want to thank you for the invitation. And I've really been looking forward to this for the last few weeks. My first time on a podcast. So I think we're going to have a really good time.
Awesome. We already have having a good time before the recording. That's great, Kelly. How is the pitch?
How is the pitch? The pitch is windy.
Awesome.
The pitch is dry. The pitch is waterlogged.
Awesome.
But the pitch is always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're playing home, by the way. So we are hosting Saskatchewan football today, which is the organization that we all belong to, and very pleased to have this opportunity so we can have also Kelly speak to our listeners about the Excel program and the opportunities and everything about the program. Kelly, let's start talking about yourself. Who's Kelly? How you get into coaching experiences and everything that you want to let us know about your coaching experience.
Sure. I hope we have enough time.
Oh, absolutely.
So I started playing soccer at 5, following my older brothers around.
Wow.
My dad wanted a dancer and got another soccer player. By the time I was 21, I've played my whole life. This is the first year I haven't played. So 21, I started coaching and really got pushed by one of the high-level...
That's very young.
It was very young. It was very young. My first coaching gig was under 10 boys, which was an experience. And then it just exploded, right? As a female coach, I then went to under 16 girls in Eastside. And at one point, I was coaching a team in Eastside and a team in Aurora. And at one point, I was coaching a team in Hollandia and Aurora. So I never had trouble being busy. I went to Moose Jaw for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
Coached their traveling under girls 16 team. Coached the adult team at the PAC, like in the Prairie Athletic Conference. Came back, went back to Aurora, coached my oldest son until 2010, and then I took a break.
Oh, nice.
Did a lot of coach development. I'm a lifelong learner. So anything that I could and should and would, I got a hold of and read and completed as a coach.
Awesome. And we were talking before we got on the air that you also completed your B diploma last year.
I did, yeah. I started my training under the old process, and so I was able to just evaluate the C and then go straight to my B last year, which was a really incredible experience.
Amazing.
I found my learning in that year exponential. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but for me, it made me look at the game in a different way.
Absolutely. And we should never stop learning. Anyways, it's always very nice. And congratulations for the B diploma.
Thank you.
That's amazing, Kelly. So, Kelly, what kept you in coaching? Is it your kids or the love of the game more than?
It was definitely the love of the game.
Yeah.
It was definitely feeling like I wanted to give an experience that was different and more player-centered.
That's awesome.
Almost from the beginning.
That's awesome.
Development over outcomes.
That's awesome.
So that's always been my methodology.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And now we are the managers of the Excel program, the Saskatchewan Excel program. Let's speak of that program maybe for some of our listeners that they don't know what is the Excel program. So if you want to give us an overview, what is the Excel? If I'm just looking online and if come across this name, Saskatchewan Excel program, what is the Excel program? What's in there? How is the structure of the program? You can walk us through that, Kelly.
Sure. The Saskatchewan Excel program, I'm the manager of the female side. We are a program that is aligned with Canada Soccer. We partner with Canada Soccer, and Saskatchewan Soccer delivers that program. We are the high performance program for the province. We look to recruit players from all over the province to come in on a full-time, 5 days a week,
Yes.
high performance training system. You know, we really struggle right now with reaching out and getting players from outside of the community, but we're doing a really good job. So we make sure that the players are on field, trying to give them the best experience, the best training that they can possibly have. But yeah, so we are the program for the province.
Awesome. No, that's great. We're gonna come probably like later in the conversation talk about the recruits and all that process.
Sure.
So, and you mentioned you guys train 5 days a week, so
Right.
it is a full-time program.
It
okay.
is.
So, what do players get in those 5 days a week? Is it all like on the field trainings? Can you just tell us exactly
Sure.
how the process is there?
Sure. So we are on field 4 days a week.
Okay.
They're in the gym 1 day a week.
Okay.
So within those 4 on-field sessions, they get 2 tactical sessions, 1 technical session, and 1 strength and conditioning session, early mornings on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're really deliberate about how we're delivering the sessions through a yearly training plan based on my game model. But yeah, 5 days a week, absolutely, at least an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, that's awesome. And all the trainings, is the groups trains together, or do the male program trains separately than the female, or how that works?
Yeah, the male and female programs are separate. We used to
Okay.
be a little bit more integrated, but
Okay.
decided that for the sake of development for the boys and the girls, that it was probably better to separate them. We are on field on Wednesdays at the same time, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
But yeah, we just use half a field
Yeah,
each.
that's awesome.
But if I could just add one more thing, we have players maybe right now going to U Sport in July who are moving away, so they're now training with the boys.
Oh, okay, so you bring them for extra stretch
Yeah.
to prepare them for that stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good. Very important for the players, especially at that stage to be prepared. So you mentioned that the program is overseen by Canada Soccer, right?
Right.
So is the training methodology that is it aligned with what Canada Soccer trying to deliver through the process of coaching licenses, and like how the training methodology, like is there a specific methodology in trainings, or is it aligned with what Canada Soccer is doing, or is Canada Soccer overseeing the program and overseeing the training methodology? How that works, Kelly, exactly?
Right now, as you know, Canada Soccer is in a bit of a transitional form.
Yes.
Prior to Bev leaving and Emma Humphreys leaving,
Yeah.
I did have, I was in contact with Emma as a U17 national team coach,
Nice.
talking about game models, not necessarily the on-field training, but the expectation is that you use what they give you, right? So even Emma Humphreys' game model, not everything was disclosed, but definitely, how to get my players there and identified what they were looking for in players, what they needed to do to be ready for when they went to NDC trials. So we definitely had a good connection there. Emma did come to watch the kids play last
Nice,
November, not
nice,
the year
nice.
before. So yeah, we definitely have a connection. It's a little bit in transition right now, but we'll
Yeah.
get back there.
Yeah, so basically like the program work under that umbrella, but also the coaches, you have to adapt to the environment that you're working at.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's very cool actually. And how is you mentioned you have a yearly training calendar. How that yearly training calendar is it like, do you follow specific training plannings with the players, let's say, because I think your seasons are very similar to what maybe other clubs having, like indoor and outdoor seasons. So you start from, if I'm not mistaken, September till March or April,
We don't have a break though.
Okay, okay. And then you start again when you move outdoor,
Outside,
which
yeah.
is outdoor season,
Yeah.
bigger space, a lot of extra.
Right.
So how is that training process like? Is there like a continuation from the indoor to the outdoor training,
Yes.
or is it like some adjustment? How?
No, I train based on periodization.
Oh, okay, okay.
And my yearly training plan is a 10-month training plan broken down into mesocycles of
Okay.
8 weeks.
Okay.
And then all the training is based on my game model, where we
Okay.
are, what we're doing. There are always, as you know, adjustments.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And so that's how I work my yearly training model. It is 10 months. And, so when I look today and I'm creating sessions for today,
Yes.
we're talking about attacking transition, right?
Yes.
So that's where we go. And
Yeah.
every week is about a different phase, like moment of the game and the
Yeah,
phase.
yeah. And is the training in because for my understanding of the program, like you recruit, which is the player with the potential in the province. So is the trainings like more like a team specific training, or is it more like to fit those individuals and support their developments, like, or you find a balance between both?
Yeah, it's definitely a balance.
Yeah.
I like to have
'Cause
players.
football it's a team sport. at
It's
the end.
fluid, right? It's
Yeah.
never asymmetrical. We're always
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
developing. But when
Yeah.
we have players come in from outside the program
Yes.
to come in for an assessment, I always like them to come on Wednesdays, which
Yeah.
is a really technical
Yes.
session,
Yeah.
and then see if they can. The tactical session is not that important,
Yeah.
but I just want to see them on the field.
Yeah, it's different environment for those players as well.
Yes.
Yeah, coming from maybe a club where they spent the entire time to a different environment. Yeah, those players are definitely with a good potential, but it's still like the environment, the adaptation, the adjustment has to take some time, which is a
And
big job.
sometimes-
Big job.
Sometimes they have to do it quickly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because everybody's pushed by time. Yeah, definitely. And how many players do you have now? Like, is it like a certain numbers that the program has to have for each, let's say for each, for the male, for the female? Is it like, are you guys flexible? Like you can work with whatever's numbers, or you need to have this specific numbers, or it's technically based on how many players that deserve to be there?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year we carried 23 plus
Okay.
2 goalkeepers. This
Yeah.
year we carried.
Is it the perfect?
Nope. 24 is probably perfect.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it is about who's ready to come in.
Yes, yes,
And it is about what's best for our environment.
yes, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
For the current players. And I wouldn't want to bring a player just to fit a number,
Yes,
just to fit a quota if they weren't ready.
yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So we don't really have I obviously have a training, I don't want to have more than this, but right now we do fluctuate a little bit.
Yeah, and then if there is 30 players that deserve to be there, it's gotta be 30 players.
Right.
Absolutely. No, that's great. And I know that all the recruiting process, for my understanding, it's all overseen by the head coaches or the managers of the program. Is that right?
That's correct.
So how is the observation? How is the scouting process, Kelly? Because that's probably quite a lot of traveling, a lot of attendance, a lot of watching, because it's not easy, especially the province is big,
Right.
and you have to oversee everyone in the province. So how like, let's say I have my son or my daughter has the potential. I live somewhere else in this province. Like how I would know that the head coach of the male or the female program would really have my son or my daughter would have a chance to be seen by those. Like how do the recruiting process goes? Like if you can really walk us through that, Kelly, because that's really, I think it's going to be more information for really everyone involved in the game in this province.
Right.
Yeah.
So first part is my responsibility.
Yeah.
Both to watch in person, whether it's PSL or
Yes.
SAS Cup or
Yeah.
even league games, whatever it is. The next thing is video.
Yeah.
So
It's a good tool.
It is an exceptional tool.
Yeah.
You know, this past weekend I couldn't get to PSL games, but I can definitely watch those under 13, under 15, under 17 games for the girls.
Especially with the overlaps between games and
Right.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time doing video analysis. That's my bedtime ritual. But it's so valuable, right? And then I reach out to technical leads. I reach out to the provincial technical leads to say, I have this list of girls. Have I missed anybody? Is there anybody that maybe I should have a look at? You know, we're assessing and we're looking for players all year, all those 10 months, and trying to reach out in ways that are effective and that don't drain capacity, right? So we also last year had a camp in August, and we'll have another camp in July. So I'll bring 30 players in from recommendations from technical leads around the province and get them in for a 2-day camp, not only so I can see them, but so they can see us and see what the environment looks like. And then in October, I'll do a presentation to identified players and say, if you're interested, fill out this survey and tell me when you want to come in.
Awesome. So you do have a scouting process that you are doing on your own as head coaches, but also you need the support of those technical leads for the clubs and the other organization to maybe refer the players. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I've also had coaches reach out and say you should look at, you know, so anytime there's a recommendation, I'm really intentional about going to look at these players.
That's good. What's the criterias, Kelly? I know I'm digging here into more like details of your scouting process. What's the criterias that you're probably like looking at on a player? Let's say you're on the field, you're coming watching me playing on a game. What are you going to be watching specifically on those players that you can tell, oh, this player has the talent to maybe fit in this program or has the potential? I mean, that sometimes could not be correct, but at least.
And you know, talent identification is difficult. And, you know, sometimes you get it wrong and sometimes you miss a player or something.
Absolutely.
But for me, it's a mindset. First and foremost, it has to be a bravery mindset. They have to be, especially when you come into our program, if you just pass the ball away every time you get it and you don't want to keep possession of it, that's a red flag for me. If you are not afraid to make a mistake, if you make mistakes and then recover from them, that's perfect for me because that's our game. We're transitional. If player has really good first touch, but under pressure it falters, there's technical work that has to be done, probably in their own environment, right?
Yes.
And I have to look at players who really want to drive forwards, but then can reassess and get back into shape defensively, right? It's not so much my tactical game that I'm looking at, it's really who they are.
Yes, because that's I think it's very important to know if they have the tools to survive in that environment, because those tactical things, I think they can learn them when they get there.
Absolutely.
By the time, and so basically you're looking for, like, in a balanced way, the player and also the person. Is that correct?
Yeah. Absolutely. And for me, in this game, if you don't want to have the soccer ball at your feet, that's really difficult to work with.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, eh? Yeah, very important. I think it's also a good message for the player that really looking up to that step in their career. That's this is the requirement, eh? This is the platform. This is if you want to be at that next level, that's what you need to work on. And so, is it difficult for you as coaches for the adjustment of those players, because I know they came from different environment to that environment, which is like I say, they have the potential.
Yes,
that's like a given.
Yes,
situation. But is it difficult for you to facilitate that adjustment? How that adjustment works for the players?
You know, primarily
because it's really difficult. It's not easy.
It is really difficult.
Yeah.
I have, before they come into the program for an assessment, I have a meeting with the player and their parents.
Nice.
Trying to get an understanding of who they are from their own words.
Yeah.
You know, and then what I do is I set them up with a buddy in the program.
Okay.
When they come in, their buddy, it might be somebody that they do know already, and that's always the best. But so their buddy helps them through warm-up, activation, even if they're maybe too shy to ask a question out loud, things like that. So they really rely on their buddy for the first little while. And then I always say to these young girls coming in, you know, you have 2 sessions to come, try to get comfortable, then you're on.
Settle.
Yeah, subtle.
Yeah.
That's not my second word. Yeah. So subtle. But we try to make sure we give them our training gear. We treat them like they're part of our group right from the minute they step on the field.
They need to feel welcome too. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's important because when you create also that unconscious ease in the brain state of the players, I think you're gonna see the reality of those players,
right?
Because they're gonna be behaving on the automatic pilot.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the girls that are already in the program know how that feels.
Yes. Yeah.
They know how nervous they were.
Yes.
And the expectation is that they support these players.
Yeah. And I think that the brain state for those players, it's excitement. It is a positive thing because I remember myself when I used to go for those opportunities to play in a different environment or higher environment than what I was. I was like excited, nervous, but I wasn't worried, just like excited, nervous. I always want to display myself with the best way I could, because at the end of the day, Kelly, it is an opportunity for these players. And as far as I know, so you scout the players, you do your process, which is you follow up, you watch them, then you go and see them in person as well, playing games, and then you reach out to the technical leads, to the families, to the players. So, and how many sessions is there? Like a specific process that goes, like you give them this certain amount of sessions to come. How that work? Like, is it
if they haven't been in before, and I do say to new players coming in, it's rare for a player to get an offer to come into the program the first time around.
Yes.
So those players get 6 to 8 sessions, whatever we can make work, you know, with their club commitments, with our training schedule. We're pretty flexible. For a player who's coming back, it gets reduced. It gets reduced to 4. My understanding and what I present to them is that you've been here before.
It's fair.
Now you have to perform.
Absolutely.
And then afterwards they'll. Sorry, you asked.
No. I just those sessions, to get all the information about how the training's gonna be. Like, did you got an idea? Like, this is what we're gonna do today, because I know they're new. Maybe just so we can like get the best out of them, or you see the reality out of them. So, or how that works exactly.
I am very fortunate because I have more time than club coaches.
Awesome.
We always have a pre-session.
That's good.
Where we meet for 10 minutes, go over what the session's going to look like, even sometimes as intricately as what the actual pieces of the session are going to be, and definitely what the objectives are. We usually have 3 objectives based on your moment of the game that I want to see and I'm trying to pull out of them. So they are players like the players in the program, how quickly they can connect, how quickly they can figure out what they need to do on the field. And I haven't seen a lot of them really struggle with that right now. It's more about execution. Yeah.
And you know what, Kelly, this is amazing, and thank you very much because this is really good for these players that are looking for this step. This is the process now. Like, we bring someone here that really be living this on a daily basis to explain this process. So now you have an idea exactly. That's nice, because you wanna support them. You are bringing them with a potential, but also you wanna maximize that potential. So they need that assistant, that support, that guidance. And what usually the challenges these players face, just like really for the next maybe generations of players to also be considering this, like, what's the challenges that this player, maybe something that if they want to be in that stage or that step at some point in their life to work on it while they still have time. So,
Right.
yeah, like from your experience, of course.
And it's about pressure. It's
Yeah.
about what you can do in your own environment.
Yeah.
Right. With a player, maybe a U15
Yeah.
PSL player.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you can do in our environment.
Yeah.
It's faster. We have girls from 14 to 18.
Yeah.
So it really is about pressure and speed,
Yeah.
decision making, and that technical ability.
Yeah.
I meet with these players after their assessments,
Yeah.
and I give them a little report card
That's good.
from our 4 corners of development,
Yeah.
where I see them, and obviously this is just my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And so where I see them right now, and where I see some growth areas for them, it's not usually based on any of our tactical aspects. It's technical, and it's social emotional.
Yeah.
If they come in and they're super quiet, and that's tough for them.
Red flag.
Red
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
even if they don't know players' names and they're still calling for the ball, right? And they're still, yeah. That to me is really, really important.
Absolutely. And especially you mentioned that players there are 14 to 18 years old. So it's different types of pressures within the sessions, less space and time on the ball
Space and time.
for his players, which is very demanding to get the best out of them. That's definitely something that everyone has to consider, and I think that's the next stage, right?
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. And it's the next stage for the girls in the program when they go to NDC trials. When they're looked at by Canada, it's space and time.
Yeah, and when you get these players now, they get enrolled in the program. They meet all the criterias. You offer them a spot in the program. Is there any certain corners in this development, corners that you're working on with in the program that you target with them, or you just technically just observe first and see where the needs, the support, like how the player development methodology work in the Excel program, like because we know that you're trying to help those players get to another level, so it's more like preparing which individual is gonna have that potential to
Absolutely.
go. Yeah. So how that work, Kelly? Like, do you like split them in groups where you work with each group based on their needs, or no, this is what we are doing, so you have to
No, I can answer that. We
Yeah.
have 3 periods per year
Yeah.
where we do and meet about individual development plans for each
Okay.
player.
Good.
So in September, they create their own. Now we change that into a Google Doc. We'll meet in December
Awesome.
to see where they think their development has gone, where their struggles are, their growth, where they think they're doing really well. And then I'll put my notes in there as well. We just actually finished last week our 3rd portion, so our May portion.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll individually talk with each player about where they think they are with their growth areas. We have one player going to U Sport this fall, and her growth area this year was for her left foot. Got to get her, and that's all we focused on.
Nice.
And that's how we do it. And then when we're talking about growth areas, we have Wednesdays. So if they have some technical growth areas, they get the first portion of the session to work on those.
Oh, okay, that's good. And no, probably I'm gonna flip the questions.
Sure.
Because this is I think I am in the situation now that I need help as well as a technical lead of one of the
Right.
organization here in Saskatchewan. Like from the previous experiences you accumulated in this program, especially you're in the program for a few years now. So what do you think the other organization, clubs, academies, maybe need to work with players that has this potential, so like we can maximize even their potential even better and better, so when they come to your environment they are more like a step or two ready? Then like, is there anything that you want to advise us to work on? And I think we should take it here as a professional advice from you, because I think you are dealing with these players on a daily basis, and maybe if you want to talk to the clubs, to the academies, other organization, this is what we need you to focus on with the players, so we can help them.
Yeah, I truly believe in accelerated environments. You know, if you have a U13 girl
Yeah.
who can and should be playing up,
Yeah.
push her a little bit. Like
Yeah.
move these players up into higher level environments,
Yeah.
faster environments,
Yeah.
environments where they'll be under pressure quicker. I think that's a key that we have control over, and that if we are not really focused on outcomes as opposed to player development, this would be a really good system to do.
Yeah. So technically, like pushing and stretching those players, maybe let's say to play in an age older, in their own environment,
as long as it's safe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's because that's important, because I think a lot of players, yes, the potential is there, but also is the follow up from the environment is there to help these players excel. Absolutely. Before they move there, because when they get there, like you mentioned, space and time is less on the ball, but also time is less on to work on maybe some of the fundamentals.
Yes.
Because the speed of the work, it's more than a regular environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And for these players that's going to be now recruited by the Excel program, Kelly, what's the opportunities that they have? Like, let's say after grade 12 or even before that. Like, what's the horizon for these players? What's the opportunities that they have? I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to be 100% sure, but at least what's the potential there for them? What opportunities they would have? Like, is the program having any connections with, let's say, pro-level academies, like MLS or CPL academies here in the country? That
Well, for the girls, that's a little difficult.
Okay.
Now we have Northern Super League.
Yes.
We definitely have a connection and a partnership with Vancouver Whitecaps.
That's good.
3 of the girls went. 3 previous ASTRA girls.
Yes.
went to the NDC
yes.
for a week in Vancouver with Whitecaps to play and train, and had a really good time. One of the girls had really good feedback, but has some growth areas. So she's on the radar. When we're talking about under 17 players, Whitecaps have to offer residency.
Yes.
So you have to be in the top, 17 or 18. So that's the only MLS academy right now that has a female side where they can invite players in. That's through Canada Soccer as well.
Yeah.
Then our secondary is where are you going next? Is it, we have 2 girls right now playing League One in Ontario, one in Alberta.
Nice.
Youth sport is obviously, we want these players to go next level, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We had 2 players go NCAA Div 1 last year. And now with the Northern Super League, I'm very excited because I think that we can make connections there to have our players come in for trials.
It's a great window of opportunity now.
Right. And with division, like with League One expanding, there's opportunities there. I'm making connections with coaches in Alberta, with Edmonton and Calgary.
Nice.
And I mean, anything we can do to get the players playing at an accelerated level.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I think it's very good. And thank you, Kelly, for this information, because this is very good for everyone to hear and to see that this is the opportunity. This is what we're trying to do. Yes, of course, at the end, it will rely on how hard you work to get there. Definitely, but at least I think the intention is there to help these players go, and I think it's so for, let's say, the players that will go and seen by Vancouver Whitecaps or any other MLS academy, or so do you have to identify them, or they just being scouted? Like, how that process maybe for these players now all to know this, like, if I want to get this opportunity, I need to do 1, 2, 3.
Right. 2 years ago when Emma Humphreys was here, we had 3 players identified to go to NDC, and she identified 1 more. Most of the time it's through us. Ross Kenny from Whitecaps was here in December, and he had talked about a couple of the girls as well. So that impacted who we sent, right?
Yeah.
Any time we can get Vancouver Whitecaps or Canada Soccer to us, or we go to them, is really important. But typically, we push the players to identify themselves as well.
Oh, okay.
They have to have highlight reels. They have to know where they want to go, and they have to do a lot of the work themselves as well.
Yeah.
They have to connect with coaches. You know, when the girls came back from NDC in December, Mike Ayash, who's the technical lead, he sent each girl, each of the players, their assessment with growth areas, with where they did very well, things like. So we've really incorporated those three into their development plans.
Yeah. So they don't just go, seen and come back. No, they go, they got seen, and also they got a follow-up with these players. Hey, you need to work on this and this and this. Yeah, and that's very good because sometimes you need to let this player know exactly where they are at that moment, what they need to work on, and thanks, Kelly, because this is important that you mentioned. It's not just you are identifying players. Players also have to reach out. Players have also to work, to do a lot of work in outside the field to get this opportunity, which is amazing. I think you mentioned also Canada Soccer, seeing that and supporting that, because that's very good. And think this is wonderful for everyone in Saskatchewan to hear this today, and that's because this process maybe a lot of people, not just player. Maybe families, maybe they already have this information, but maybe the families that their kids are just about to be in the program or like looking to be in the program, at least to know that, and that's an amazing things, Kelly. And so as an organization, as an Excel organization, and I think. You rely 100% on the talent in the province, which is the Saskatchewan players. And is there any work like between, let's say, the head coaches in the program and clubs or academies in Saskatchewan that we can coordinate together, maybe on the field? It's not going to be necessarily training sessions. Could be sessions, could be presentations, could be a lot. Like you mentioned, I think where we were before we got on the air, you're having camps as well, which is Can you tell us about those camps, those things that you're trying to set up for the recruit?
Sure. So this is very new. Our first one for the girls was last year. Went well.
So inclusive in Beyond the Pitch podcast.
Inclusive. So players from all over the province came. I mean, all four corners of the province came.
Nice.
And it was really not about identifying players to come into the program. Per se, it was about an experience for them to come in. These are young players. Same thing this year. They're born in 2011 and 2012. So we're talking, 12,
still young.
13, 14 years old. Still young.
Yeah.
And I just want them to get an understanding of what the program is. We talk about expectations. We talk about the amount of work it is for players. And that's basically going to be our first step in our identification process, right? Outside of watching PSL games all the time. But I would definitely, we've been in a little bit of transition again in Saskatchewan soccer as well, with the two roles being split, both male and female, and what our processes look like going forward. We do very intentionally work together to try to make sure it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but our focus and our philosophy has to be the same. So yes, it's in my plan to reach out now to technical leads and try to get them coming in or recommending, I'm always looking for female coaches.
Nice. That's very important.
Coaches. But I really want to promote and develop female coaches as well. But it is part of my process for the fall to try to really be intentional about reaching out to the clubs as well.
That's good.
On a more frequent spacing or more frequently than I have in this year.
That's good, because I think those those ideas, Kelly, are very important, especially like you say, bringing these young players to see the environment, build the connections with these players. It's good to see it while they're still young, and
Yeah.
then they will make that decision. Oh, this is something for me. I really wanna come back and work so hard for it, because that's very good. Like it's instead of like bringing them maybe at a later stage, where it's too late for everyone, you know.
Yeah, but sometimes
Yeah.
when we have players who
Yeah.
develop at a later point,
Yeah.
the door's never closed.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
you know, if they're good enough to be in the program, they should be in the
Yes,
program.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it comes again to the merit to be in the program, and you also speak of, and I think that's one of really the point I want to talk about, and you mentioned developing those female coaches,
Yeah.
which is like, is there like a strategy? Is there like some work that's been prepared? Because this is good, by the way. This
Yeah.
is very, very nice to hear, because it's important. So how?
I have really been shoulder tapping coaches.
That's good.
The challenges that we have with female coaches
Yes.
is if they're already at the club level coaching, they're coaching their kids. They're already maximized. They're already, you know, they don't have a lot of time. I have some promises that maybe in a year, or it is about the female experience. And especially when you have a family and a home, and,
Yeah.
our training sessions start at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Difficult for a lot of people involved if you're not full-time coach. Really I'm tapping shoulders. Really I'm talking to our coach developer, Ashlyn, to get some ideas
Nice.
on who to approach. And, it is a challenge. I know you guys, and I know at ASTRA too, like it's tough.
Yeah.
And nothing against male coaches, but I really want to be see her, be her.
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
your players can
Yeah.
understand that you are a competent, caring coach, that they'll understand that they can be that too, which is, part of the whole journey as well, is
Yeah.
creating not only soccer players for life, but
Yeah.
getting players back in and
Yeah.
getting them hooked on coaching.
Yeah, it's important. I think we are having the same strategy at ASTRA. We got a lot of our coaches now are young coaches, returning coaches, which is amazing to have
Yes.
them back again, giving back to the kids. And they are a role model
Yes.
in the academy. They are, because they were there at some stage. And I think, Kelly, this is really amazing. I think, like you mentioned, nothing against male coaches, but
No.
just really to give an opportunity also for the female coaches, because we need everyone to help. And let's say, we understand time and a lot of things challenging, but I think also Saskatchewan Soccer Association having a specific program to develop the female coaches as well. I think it's on beside of what we are doing.
Right.
Usually would do.
Yeah,
on
our
the
female
license.
development network and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
It's funny, if I can just say one more thing about getting female coaches into
Yeah.
this level, is they
Yeah.
don't believe in themselves. They
Yeah.
they don't feel like they have the confidence.
Yeah.
And
Which is not true.
Which
They
is
have-
not
They
true.
have the confidence. They have everything.
and they have
yeah.
the skills.
Yeah, they have the skills.
And
yeah,
my job
absolutely.
is to give them the resources
Yeah.
to grow those, right?
Yeah.
So to say to a female coach, like, come, you can just support, like,
Mm-hmm.
just watch, you don't have to, we're not going to throw you and make you lead a session right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Yeah.
That is, I think, something that we have to, as female coaches, support each other and make others understand that we're here to support them. Because it's tough.
Yeah.
That you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's the same message. One of my guests that was here, Astrid Baker,
Okay.
the head coach of the University of Regina, and she has the same intention.
Yeah.
And she talks about this, and this is really amazing. Like I say, it's just give the opportunity for everyone, because I think everybody deserves that opportunity. And as coaches, we want great people to be around the players, of course,
Absolutely.
because it's like I say, and you mentioned this, it's not just developing the players, developing also the people, because these players, maybe a little percentage of them that's going to be professional tomorrow, but 100% of them, they are all citizens. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are all the people that are going to lead this community tomorrow, and that's very important to have the right people around them, and doesn't matter what gender.
No,
Just
I know it
the
doesn't.
right people around them. That's
Yeah.
really important. That's really good. And Kelly, is there anything that really like also about the Excel program that we haven't highlighted today that you want to speak of? Because it's this is a window, like I say, of opportunity for everyone that listening today to this podcast to hear from a person that been in the program, coaching in the program, working in the program, to tell us more about that. Like, is there anything you want to highlight so at least our listeners would know of it?
Yeah, I would, and it's not about us, it's
Yeah.
about clubs.
Yes.
How do we create a space so that everybody is included or feels included?
Yeah.
That's a challenge for us, right?
It is.
You know, when we talk about players moving on, I'm like, take my player, take them, right? But I also don't want to decimate a club. So how do we get really inclusive with our clubs and our members to make sure that we're going the same way, and that we have a really good understanding of what you guys need from us, and what your players need from us. So that would be my only statement is to make sure that, you know, being intentional about knowing what the clubs want, what the clubs need.
Yeah, and that's very good, because that's the reason why I asked you earlier, like what challenges the player has when they get there, and also what do you want from us as technical lead coaches to work on with these players, because at the end of the day, I think both of us have the same intention to maximize the potential for these certain players that really have that potential to go play at a higher level.
Right.
The opportunity is there, and the program, it's I think it's open. You mentioned for everyone that deserve to be in it. The program is there for them. The opportunity is there for them. I think you mentioned the scouting process. You mentioned everything today, and it's very amazing, Kelly, to because even for me, I've been on. By the way, I used to coach years ago, but some information are really new.
Want to come coach again?
Oh, I have no time. Some information are really even like new for me as well to hear, and also really good for our listeners, for the families, for everyone involved to know this. And we appreciate your time, Kelly. That's very nice of you to be here and speak of your program and tell us everything that we want to know about it technically. Kelly, I want you to look at that camera. Someone that you want to say thank you to.
Really, I want to say thank you to Adam Miller.
So
I want to say thank you to Adam Miller, who was the manager of the Excel program prior to going back to Nova Scotia. His work ethic and devotion to these players was something that I'd never seen before. And what he cared about was developing players. So I want to thank him for giving me a really good experience. If it wasn't for this program, the B diploma would have been a really difficult space to be in. But for that, and again, I'd also like to thank my husband, because every minute that I'm away with soccer, he's there taking care of the home front, taking care of the dogs, the kids, everybody else. And that's all.
That's amazing. Thanks, Kelly. That's very nice to always give back to the people that gave you the opportunity. And I think you mentioned Adam, great guy. I work with him as well. I think coming to the same conversation we just had, he gave you this opportunity, and you just prove that you deserve it as well, which is important. Great guy. And I think you also have Matthew right now, a new addition to that program. Also really great young coach as well.
No,
absolutely.
he's great.
Absolutely. No, that's very nice. Kelly, really I want to thank you very much for coming here and speaking to our listeners, speaking to us, telling us about your program. We appreciate your time, and I hope the episode was enjoyable for you. How did you find it, Kelly?
It was really good. You know that I can speak about soccer forever. I really appreciate this. This was really fun. And yeah, anytime you want to chat, I will do this again anytime.
Awesome. That's great. No, thank you very much, Kelly. And I think, I mentioned the same to Astrid when she was here. You guys are a great role model for what you're doing. You're a true inspiration for a lot of female coaches.
Thank you.
Maybe you don't know that, but it is. A lot of female young coaches are looking up to you, and that's very important to know. And I think we'll just keep pushing all together for the game, for the players, for everyone, for the coaches, for the families, everyone involved in this wonderful game, in this wonderful province, Saskatchewan, because we like it.
We do.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kelly. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you will enjoy this fourth episode of Beyond the Pitch podcast, because I truly enjoyed it with the Saskatchewan Excel program manager, Kelly Rawlings. Thank you very much. Ciao.
Thank you.